Today's guest has built a career and a movement around the power of persistence. Michal Stawicki is a business coach, prolific author, and founder of Expand Beyond Yourself, a platform focused on helping people create real change through small, consistent actions. He's been featured on dozens of podcasts, written extensively on self publishing, time management, and personal development, and has helped solopreneurs and everyday people get back in the driver's seat of their lives. His philosophy: start small, stay consistent, build momentum. It's simple but powerful. Michal, welcome to Attention is the Currency. It's so good to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Daniel, for having me. It's so good to be here.
It's a great privilege to have another great mind that's sharing his insight around building up lives and because everyone needs their personal development and everyone needs those great insights. So where did this journey of self-improvement begin for you?
2012, I was miserable in my day job, corporate IT, and well, I had the standard life: 3 kids, wife, mortgage, commute, and so on. And I just wasn't enjoying it, but I saw no way out of that. And then I was on vacation in Ireland, visiting my parents, and my sister gave me a book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And this book says success is a few simple disciplines repeated over time. And I was like, no, that's too simple. No. I seriously thought over it for a month before I took action. But when I was reading the book, I was like going back, taking inventory of my life. And yeah, when I had successes, there were some simple, consistent disciplines behind them. So it really convinced me that this is the law of nature. It's how it works. So I finally gave myself permission to try change my life, and the rest is history.
Yeah, well, I know that while being a business coach, being the entrepreneur life, I can understand whenever I've worked a job for somebody else, I just hated it and couldn't wait to get out because it's just it's sucking the creativeness out of you and that passion around the business. So that was really the turning point for you, and then from there, it sounded like you had a lot of commitments. What was the time that you went, okay, I'm going to go all in and build the platform and start writing?
Oh, it took me a while, because I was hopeless. I haven't thought really seriously about my life for 16 years, just, going by. So I had a lot to catch up with, a lot to study, which I've done for the first half a year. I was reading and listening, and practically that was all. One of the things I read then was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey recommends to write your personal mission statement. So I did just that, took me a month. And in that statement, while working on the statement, I rediscovered my childhood dream of being a writer. So I started pursuing this. Started one blog, then another, then written some fiction in Polish. And there were all failed attempts. And finally, I published my first ebook on in personal development space, how to write a personal mission statement. Yeah. And people started buying it, paying for something I wrote. I was hooked immediately. So that kept me going for under a year, despite the fact I was making on the Kindle 30 cents. But still, people were willing to pay. That's one. And then I always could write more books. Yeah, I remember almost a year into it, I sold last month 100 copies, something like that. And I was 50 more books and maybe I can quit my day job.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, it really was self-belief because my next question was about what kept you going through that time, because a lot of people write one thing, they kick it off one thing, it doesn't work for them, and then they quit.
Yeah, well, so you're right, because it worked for me, relatively speaking, because I also have a book advertising business, and I can see what's going on in self-publishing world. And it's so freaking hard now to break through the noise. And uh, your book may be good, still it doesn't guarantee anything. So yes, I had success like from the outset. The next day, someone bought my book. The next day, also 2 days later. Oh yeah, so I had this feeling of success, and then I, of course, frantically checked my statistics every day, and was happy when I sold 2 copies in one day, and depressed when for 3 days I sold nothing. But yes, that initial success, but also this slight edge philosophy, which is practice a few simple disciplines. So it's not okay, you will publish your bestseller and live happily ever after. No, it's like keep working on it, and it will build on itself.
Yeah. No, well, I'm really curious because I've been writing 2 books for years, and although I release lots of content, a lot of written and so on, I haven't pushed myself to actually finish that. So it's a lot of people would be in that same boat. And you're big on well, that would be really the compounding effect that you're talking about, the compounding of those wins on that, because you're big on the compound effect. Why do you believe small habits matter more than the massive action? Because a lot of coaches out there even saying, I know that there's one coach here that says MAIA all the time, massive and immediate action, and people, yeah, it's the thing.
Well, it's a great thing if you can do it, but most of us cannot. Or we will do it and like be broken at the end of the process, which is, I don't think it's an objective. So the problem with massive action is exactly this. Most of people are not capable of it. Because if we were, then come on, this world would be such a better place. But nope, we are common mortals. That's what we are.
Yeah.
And then consistent action beats massive action by far. Because yes, you can mobilize your willpower and like commit for a month, for example, to something. So what? Like if then everything else comes down to always, you will end up in the same place with maybe a cool story. But if you keep doing even something small but consistently, it builds on itself. It's like writing. Yeah, you write one page, second page. If you will not stop, one day you will finish the book. It's a race, another metaphor. Yeah,
Yeah.
one stop ahead, the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And if you are going in the right direction, you will finish at the finish line.
Yeah. No, I think
That's what will happen. But what will happen if you take massive action? You don't know. Like you hope for it will bring massive results.
or you're just burning
Then,
yourself out, as you
yeah,
said.
exactly.
Right?
That's one thing. But then, come on, that's assumption, expectation. And the worst thing is if your expectation don't meet with reality. Yeah. So you took a massive action, wrote 10 books, published, and you sell 10 copies. And then what? Then depression, self-beating, second guessing, and so on and so on.
Yeah, well, I think we all know people that are very much all or nothing, and they don't meet in the middle, and they never get anywhere because they are
They
just.
don't have the off switch.
Yeah, that's it. Well, as far as habits go, what do you think of the 2 to 3 habits you believe that every solopreneur should build? Because you work with a lot of solopreneurs.
One thing I'm seeing that it's missed so freaking much. Have you read the book? What's the title? The no, I won't recall the title, but it's about being in a hurry all the time. Okay, the ruthless elimination of hurry.
Oh, I
So
haven't heard that
that's the
one.
book. Okay, I recommend it, especially for Christians. So we now in 21st century in the Western world, we live in a constant state of hurry. And what I see that provides a lot of benefit is just creating space to be, to sit down, to reflect, journal something. And nobody creates that space like on their own unless they went through something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I attribute like 50% of effectiveness of my coaching to the fact that I'm creating this space for them. 1 hour a week, they will sit down and think, reflect, discuss. So silence and slowing down, this is a lost art. So that's one habit that I can recommend to every
I
solopreneur.
can definitely acknowledge that because, well, I think my dog coaches me in that sense because being an entrepreneur of multiple businesses, I'm go, 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 go. And at the time that I have to step away is when he's looking at me going, we got to go out the door and be silent. And if I try to do something on my phone, he's pulling me away from it. So,
Good coach.
yes, that's it. Coached by the dog. But it's no, it's very good. But yeah, I completely agree, and I should really be dedicating that time because sometimes it's not really. I'm rushing through that, and and I absolutely yeah, it's more quiet time. So where do people go wrong when they trying to stick to new habits that you find a lot of your clients?
Mm, with my clients, I don't find it a lot because I'm teaching them the right way.
Yeah,
But what's like pervasive? It's just in our culture. What you said, massive action.
yeah,
Yes, trying too much too fast. That's rather a recipe for failure than success. And that's how we like. This is classic example. The New Year's resolutions, going to the gym, yeah, 3 4 times a week, and well, now you put it on top on your whole life, and it's a hurdle. You can keep it going for a week, 2, maybe 3, and then you will find excuses not to go, and then the whole vicious cycle starts because okay, I'm no good, I'm avoiding gym, I'm a fat ass, and so on and so on, and so that's what people are doing wrong. That's one thing. The other is, well, I say that now, despite the fact I did it myself, trying to start too many habits at once, because we have finite limit of energy, mind space. Um, so yeah, too many things at once, and I experienced that much later when I already had like 2 dozen habits, and I started to incorporating yet another one. And some of my old habits failed because like I just hadn't the space
yeah.
for that.
Well, it sounds like it's really valuable to be conscious about the habits that you're adding in there as well.
Like
That's
I
something
would
I picked
say
up from
one
you.
habit a month is
Yeah.
actually A, doable, and B, uh, will quickly compound because in a year you will have 12 new good habits. Come on, that can be a game changer.
And how do you find that they sort of, how do you personally stay focused, especially with all the noise in the world? Because even in your author space, as you said, there's so much distraction in there and trying to break through, and there's just so much noise in all things we do now. Staying focused.
Okay, so staying focused. Well, in my case, it's about staying focused on my purpose, uh, and then it can steer my decisions, everyday decisions, with whom I will do a deal, uh, what I will do, when will I go to a vacation, and so on. So I wrote my personal mission statement in 2012, and I read and repeated every single day since then. And this is my compass. Yeah, I know where I'm going to, so it's easier to make other decisions. So clarity, okay.
No,
For
clarity.
focus, clarity is very good.
Clarity. Yes.
That's the answer.
Yeah, no, that's the power. From everything you're saying, that's really the power in everything you're doing. It's definitely the clarity of the direction you're going, and that the personal mission statement that you referenced from the book the first book you read, that sort of put you on this track. And I guess that's why you're being so successful with clients because you're passing on that strategy, which was your turning point. And or what's your approach to tech attention distractions, especially as the solo business owners, all the other things because being a business owner, they have additional distractions which just even go beyond the standard.
Mhm. How old are you, Daniel?
I'm 37.
37. So I'm almost 10 years older than you, and Poland was a backwater. So I grow up in a world without the internet, without mobiles, and I know that it's doable, but I don't have a solution for new generation. I can see my kids in phones all the time. Like, this is a new reality, and I don't think I can give them a new um, weapon against it.
Yeah.
My weapon works for me because I know how to use tech as a tool, not a distraction. I turn off all the notifications, but on different messengers, and they are silent. So only when I check my phone and look at the icon, I know that someone messaged me. And that's just one of the examples. I avoid social media as a plug. And when I go like to Facebook, I never go to my main feed. Never ever. And if I go because some applications I created like that, I immediately go somewhere else. Because Facebook, for example, how do I use it? I'm active in several groups on Facebook, and this is really what I'm using it for. And well, keeping in touch with friends and family. But when I want to keep in touch with someone, I go to their profile.
Yeah.
And not click on their posts because I saw it on the main feed. So I'm trying to be in control of how I consume all the content, and I'm, for example, guilty of email mismanagement. I should open my email 2 times a day, and that's it. No, it's not that. And now I'm looking at this. Okay, one new message. Okay, I will close the window.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably lucky in my age group that I remember what it was like to not have quite as much technology stimulus. I was probably the last in the late 30s, the age range, because we didn't have mobile devices all the time when I was a kid. Social media and everything sort of came in, which was a benefit to me as a marketing consultant, because I went from my teenage time of helping people to do the newspaper and signs and so on, and then I was one of the first early adopters of social media. So I get it's really definitely a challenge for the youth today that didn't have that experience, because I was still had to be patient and watch ads to get to the other end of the TV show. And I think that's definitely, there's so much stimulation, and it would be the clarity and the self-discipline, as you've mentioned before, that make it work. And just teaching clarity and self-discipline to the youth is probably the next big challenge for anyone that's really coaching and teaching in the space. And I guess that could be a specialty coach all of themselves. And maybe you and I they're not our targets to assist. So, but yeah, that's I think that's a whole topic that might even be a panel discussion at another time.
Yeah, I got asked this exact question on Quora, and this is what I replied. Yeah, my way is to like use it as a tool because I can, and I train myself to do it. And I'm fighting with those algorithms because what they want to hijack my attention. So I say no, my attention is in this group. This is where I go. This is where I will operate. That's it. YouTube, it's a sucker. Come on. But I using some plugin that turns off everything but the video and comments. So I don't see suggested videos and I won't click on them. It saves me so much
Yeah, well,
time,
that's what I
really.
was
And
trying.
then attention, and attention
Yeah.
is the currency.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, I hire people to go looking for the things that I need to look for, and then they break it all down for me, so I can. And also software. Software's a big one for me on that one. And yeah, what would you say to someone that who feels like they're busy but not moving forward?
Okay, we alluded to that in previous questions. Create space, because
Yeah, I think it's
if you are busy and you are not moving forward, it means you are busy with the wrong things.
yeah,
How come? My experience, personal experience, but also of my clients is because you are busy and you never stop to think what's a priority, what will move me forward. Or, yes, you decided that will move me forward, but you didn't put enough attention and energy and effort into it. So you are spinning your wheels. But like number one step is slow down, reflect, set the priorities, stick to the priorities. Because this busyness, why not moving forward, happens when you are not self-aware, when you are also busy with someone else's agendas. Yeah, so it's common in a corporate world. Yeah, okay, you can do this task, do another one, do another one, and it's not something you chose. You just got them, and you need to deal with them, and then you are exhausted, so you won't do anything in your own life. But that's again like that was my case for a decade or so. I was busy with my life. I never stopped to reflect consciously where will I go, and also I that may be a sign, yeah, because my self-worth was very low. I never believed I can achieve anything, so I never tried to just avoid the failure, and that may be for a case for many people. Okay, I'm busy because this is the life throws at me and I'm dealing with it, so I take my worth out of that. But so actually for me, what worked, I gave, like I said, I gave myself permission to try. So that was this self-worth piece. Um, and yes, yeah, I slowed down. I ditched computer games, reading fiction, watching TV shows, and studied myself for quite a while. And by the way, I never stopped. So I'm journaling every day and trying to. And now that I became a coach, got a certification, I'm having a coach all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe a month is the longest period I was without a coach.
So, what does a coaching sort of look like for you? You sort of develop that because people have very chaotic lives, and if they're looking to establish those, your clients are looking to build those routines. What does that look like in your coaching?
So when it comes to coaching solopreneurs, yeah, chaos is the word, really. My mentor has a business. He called it Your Business on Purpose. And the tagline is, we help entrepreneurs to fight off chaos so they have time to the things that matter. Um, so it's so very common for solopreneurs to be like chasing all the beards and being busy and so on. And
Always
that's
another
why,
shiny object.
yeah, and that's why this creating space. So we meet for 1 hour a week, and this is time for them and for their business. And sometimes we do trivial things like the taxes because they didn't have time for the whole week to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something pretty basic. If you don't look into your finances, you may have a great business, but the taxman will appear and the business is gone.
Yes.
Uh,
Everywhere in the
but
world, that tax man.
yeah, so this 1 hour a week, that's one, like,
Yeah.
it's the starting point. It creates opportunity for anything else, because otherwise, as we discussed, you're spinning your wheels, you're busy all the time and going nowhere. So we are creating the space, and then I marry coaching with mentoring, or rather mentoring with coaching. So I was trained as a coach, and this is what I use. We work on the resources of the client. And oftentimes, like, there are so many kind of businesses I have no clue about. But I have clue about, okay, so tell me what you're working on. What's the next opportunity for you? What do you need to scale up? What's blocking you? And then uh, they will find their own answers. And the important thing is their own answers. So it's not something is imposed on them. It's like, yeah, I need to do that. Like, it's a realization, and
Yeah.
then decision follow naturally. Then building routines, like I naturally gravitate toward that because I think that's the way to live.
Yeah.
And so okay, they say something. I need a new marketing strategy. Okay, so what will you do? What will you do every day? And okay, let's check next week. How have you done it? And then maybe we'll change the path because you will discover something you don't know now at the starting.
So
So building routine is about, like, your goal is one thing, then what will get you there, which is actually It's funny. It's half of a guessing game, and half it's like your intuition knows. I wrote down like 15 disciplines at the very beginning of my personal transformation, and about half of them I still practice. I started at day one. It was, you would think, so irrelevant. Like my life is so different right now, but still, come on, half of them I keep till this day. So in a like 15 minutes, I was able, avoiding self-analysis for 16 years, I was able to figure out my own answers to my own situation.
Yeah. So really clarity and consistency can beat talent in business. Is the you believe
No, it will beat talent in
it will?
business,
It will.
because if you compare sheer talent versus sheer consistency, uh, consistency compounds, talent doesn't, and that's it. And this is like the greatest sportsmen. They're not just talented; they are very hardworking people, um, and it's like we can see it in the professional sport here, because this is like top over the top. Nobody can do what they do, but it's true in every area of life. You need to keep it going, not just having a talent. Talent is actually, from what I reckon, there is a great book about it, The Talent Code. It's just what we've done as a youngsters that made us who we are today. And for some people, interacting with others was so natural. They did it all the time, so they're good at it. Now they can be talented in sales. But
Yeah.
it's all trainable. So we trained as youngsters, but we didn't know it. But you can do it consciously. And why consistency beats the talent? Because of the compound effect. I'm not that fast writer. If I commit, then I can write 1,000 words a day. But if I do it for 20 years, how many books will I have? Versus this one guy who goes to his vacation resort to write a book for 2 months and then cross his fingers that it will be a super bestseller. Maybe it will be. The story of Stephen King doesn't prove that. He needed so many attempts before they recognized him.
Yeah. J.K. Rowling, I think, had the same challenge for that one. So it's all the most famous writers, and you've written across multiple platforms because you're an avid writer now, really, and you've written across Kindle, Quora, guest blogs. How important is the publishing for someone looking to build their brand?
Um, Yeah, publishing is a factor, because only when you hit the publish button you can get feedback. And I started pretty boldly, because I was writing my own experience. So not, research-based facts or shiny stories. No, just my experience. But the more I wrote and shared it, the more feedback I got. Like, you are such a down-to-earth person, and I appreciate your ways. And so then I was, okay, that's the right path. I should stick with being me, and writing about my story, my experiences of my clients. So this is what I appreciate in publishing feedback. It creates opportunities, but they are unpredictable. Like, seriously, I got $1,000 and spoke in online event for some US university because they found my book.
Oh,
Yeah, and they found me. They reached out to me. Like, I wouldn't engineered it in 1,000 years.
so
My writing was featured on Forbes, on Business Insider, because those writers, they went to Quora to write about some topic, and they found my answers. So yeah, again, and I tried to get on big publications. No, it's not so easy. Like those
Yeah.
gatekeepers, you need
So it's more just
credentials and so on and
the
so on.
consistency of pushing it out there. What advice would you give to someone who wants to write but doesn't know where to start?
Just start.
That,
Come on, that's a great story.
yes.
Because I wrote in my personal mission statement, I'm becoming a writer. And then it took me a freaking month to figure out what that does mean. Like, writers write, I should write. Come on, that's how you become a writer. Uh, a month, come on, that's how hopeless I was.
Yes.
So start writing, even to the drawer, but the sooner you will share your writing with the world, the better writer you will become, because you will get this feedback. Another story, like I wrote this fiction short story, published it on the literary forum,
Yeah.
and people decimated it, and rightfully so. And I was reading through their feedback, and they are right. Like, it will take me 5 years to really improve my craft in fiction. I don't have this time. So
Yeah.
then I switched to nonfiction.
Well, it's guiding. Yeah, I always sometimes I've got clients that get bad testimonials and so on, and I always say it's okay. There could be some truth in it. They might be right, but don't take anything personally. It's just developing on it. And I think some people also leave you. Yeah, sometimes they leave bad testimonials just because they're jealous that you actually took the step and made the leap. So where can people learn more about what you're coaching? How you've got a particular place, your books or your community that you'd like to people to jump into?
Now, coaching took a backseat for me. I'm focusing on my book advertising business, but it's still there on my blog. Expand Beyond Yourself,
Yes.
and then put in the search bar business coaching, and you will find the particular page for that. Uh,
Yeah, well, we'll definitely put a link into the comments as well, and into the description of anything else, and maybe if you want to recommend any, and also a link to your books as well, we can put those in there. What's coming up next for you? What's the new book?
the new book. I have this Quora content, 1,500 answers, something like that. And I never wrote a book about habits.
Yeah,
So I guess I will create the whole cycle on habits because I have enough material.
yeah,
And I was dragging my feet because it's a lot of work. But now with the AI world, like I fed all my core answers to one project in Notebook LM, that's Google's AI.
yes.
And yeah, I can now discuss with it, okay, which answers, which topics, and it will be much easier process than me trying to go over 1,500 answers and figuring out which should I incorporate into the book.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great tool. I always think with because while we talk about AI a little bit on the show, but I always think that it's a tool and it's to make things easier. But if you don't know what you're doing, then AI is useless. That's
Yeah.
where people are always panicking about it, but it doesn't replace.
Not exactly useless. My experience with AI is one, it allows you to do the things you would never do. Like
Yeah,
I created songs because there is an AI which takes your words and make music and also voice. Come on, I would never ever in million years do that.
yeah,
Just unable. But I have a friend who is like guitarist for some big country star in the States. So he practices music for decades. For him, that AI tool would be just, come on, what is it? It's so that's one side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum is when you are the expert, then AI will help you to do this mundane job, 80% of it, and then you will just finish, polish, and voila, it's done. And it's done at your level of quality, but much faster.
yeah. No, well, I always say that it makes you 20 to 30% better. So if you don't know what you're doing, and that's where a lot of people just don't have the same result as you and I would, because as experts in our space. But it's yeah, I think AI is going to be a whole nother panel interview as well because we get so many discussions on it, and I feel like a lot of us that have been in industries and in business for a while have that kind of similar view of it because we've actually used it for a practical uh, use. And
Hmm.
it definitely doesn't take all the work out of it by far, but
Definitely not.
it sort of gets you to that next stage quicker. But yeah, of course, we've got to hit our signature question before we get into the end of the interview. But if attention is the currency, what's one thing you believe people should be investing it in every single day?
uh, in being themselves and broadcasting it. Because, yeah, well, you can be comfortable in your skin, but then your social media persona is different. Oh, that's not a way to succeed. That's not a way, because we are very, very apt at reading social cues, and we can smell when it's bullshit or not. So
Yeah.
if you are authentic, you will win their attention, and they may not like you, but they will believe you. So that's the brand. Yeah, someone will hate you, someone will love you, but don't try to blend in. Be yourself. That's the best way to get attention. Like, my story is not shiny. I'm still, like, I'm barely making six figures now, uh, but I'm free from a corporate job and enjoying my life, doing what I want. Um, but still, it's not shiny. It's not like, oh, I started a business year ago and making millions.
Yeah.
Uh, but this is my story, so I share it, and it attracts some people which will be attracted to my story, not to those shiny stories.
No, that's an exceptional one. That is something else that I love on this podcast because we're not. It's very realistic because these are the things that really need attention, and it's not all glitz and glamour, and different things make different people happy, and it's yeah. That's a perfect response for the signature question. Thank you very much, Michal. Thank you for showing up. Us that growth doesn't require giant leaps, just steady steps. To everyone listening, if you're tired of stopping and starting, go follow Michal. Check out Expand Beyond Yourself and begin with the habit you can do today because attention is the currency and how you spend it determines what you build. Thank you all for joining us again. And thank you very much again for joining me.